So enjoy this presentation, everybody. Now, let's get started with the provocative victim. And you see the picture there of this kid. And I want to share something, and I think it's important for us to understand it. I was working with in a school as an administrator. And what had happened is I was standing in a hallway and I was talking to some other kids, and there was a kid who had hair similar to the kid that's in that picture. He had a 2-foot-high orange mohawk. And I said to him, I was staring at him, and he came over to me and he said to me, I didn't even know this kid. He comes over to me and he says to me, "What are you looking at?" And my comment to him was, "Not for nothing, man, but you can't have hair like that and not expect people to look at you." And that's something that we have to make the provocative victim aware of. There are things that they do, they say things, they act a certain way, they behave a certain way, they irk others, they just do things that get under the skin of others, and then they get bullied, and we as teachers have to deal with them. And therein lies the problem. This kid needs instruction more than anything else on how to behave and how not to be a person who gets under the skin of his classmates and possibly teachers. So what we want to do is we want to be able to take the time to deal with this kid correctly. So let's have a look now. Okay, there's some characteristics that this youngster has. Okay, number one, okay, he has an aggressive reaction pattern. He just automatically, he is your typical reactive kid. He doesn't think about what needs to be done before he does it or what he should do. He just reacts out of sheer impulse. Number two, he may try to bully weaker students. He's weak himself, but he'll find other kids who are weaker, who he can pick on. And that's something that we have to be completely aware of. Okay, what this kid may try and do. This kid could be someone, because he gets victimized, he may really try to hurt other people because he's so angry. He's a form of entertainment for other kids, including those that bully. Okay, he is not comforted by adults. Matter of fact, adults can get under. He can get under an adult's skin, under the teacher's skin. He's punished for the reaction to the bully. So in other words, when the bully gives him a hard time and he reacts to it, he ends up getting punished. And this is a very, very common thing. He doesn't trust adults, and he doesn't trust that an adult is going to discipline the bully and deal with things the way he should, the way he believes they should. So he distrusts an adult's ability to discipline anyone who gives him a hard time. He could be gifted, and he could be learning disabled all at the same time. He may look like he has ADHD symptoms. He's immature. He's slow development of inhibition and self-regulation. In other words, he can't control himself. This youngster cannot control what he does. So we have to be aware of that. And this is the biggie, he evokes negative feelings and reactions in everyone, and he is just a kid that irks everybody. He's unable to concentrate on schoolwork. He's fidgety. He's nervous. He may have anxiety. He can get loud sometimes to draw attention to himself. He's interruptive, meaning if you're talking and he wants to say something, he will interrupt the entire class. Hyperactive, clumsy, immature. The list goes on, has irritating habits, big social issues, and he reacts violently when bullied. And when he blurts things out, other kids react to him. Now, I have spoken about classroom kryptonite for quite a while. And classroom kryptonite are things that completely weaken a classroom. In other words, There are certain behaviors that will weaken classrooms, makes the entire classroom weak. And you have certain kids in your class, because you have to spend so much time with them, they weaken the classroom and don't give you the ability to teach the rest of the class in an appropriate way, because you're spending too much time dealing with certain behaviors that you should not have to deal with. And I call some of these behaviors classroom kryptonite. And that's exactly what a provocative victim is. He is, or she is, classroom kryptonite. And we need to deal with them. We have to this is not the only behavior that we're going to be discussing. I mean, there's a presentation that's in the academy right now, okay, that's on an apathetic kid. It's like pulling teeth to try and get this kid to do anything. There's another presentation in there that's also classroom kryptonite. The liar. What do you do with these kids that lie all the time when you're constantly trying to untangle an issue? So these are things that we have to really begin to take a look at. These are the behaviors that we have to begin to take a very close look at. Now, why does this kid weaken our classroom? Number one, he or she eats up all of our time. We're spending so much time dealing with this kid who is running behind us, who is setting off the rest of the class. We're making phone calls. We're sending them to the office. We're dealing with referrals. We're talking to the child study team. We have INRS referrals. He's 504. He is it. The whole thing, okay, he is creating such work for us that we can't teach. And then what happens, because of the fact that he has done, we question the fact that he has been hurt by bullies, and bullies have given him a hard time, and we're so upset with him because he provokes everybody else that it causes us to question our own judgment. In other words, did I do the right thing? We go home at night thinking of this kid, and by the way, that's something I would suggest that you never do, is go home at night thinking of the kid, because it will just wreck your entire night and wreck your entire day the next day. These kids cannot get under your skin to the point that they affect your personal life. Next thing, we begin to feel guilty because we put ourselves in a position where I like you, but I don't like your behavior. No, you don't like this kid. You got all kinds of trouble with this kid. You don't like him. You have to come to terms with that, and the reason you have to come to terms with it is because the kid's going to know it. He's going to know that you don't like him. And when and we're going to sit around and we're going to say, you know, John, I really like you, but don't like your behavior. No, you don't. And John knows it, that you don't like him. So we have to come to terms with how we're going to get along with this kid and coexist in a classroom, and how we're going to teach the other kids to do it, because everyone's not going to like this kid, and we're going to start having difficulty. And then when we defend this kid because of his behavior, we start to lose the respect of the classroom. And this is another big issue that we have to take a look at. Once our students disrespect us, that's when we start having difficulty. Because this kid will weaken the classroom to the point that the rest of the class will start to show us a lack of respect. And then we have to discipline other kids. They're not going to listen to us, and the whole thing starts to crumble around us. And we wonder why the class is falling apart, and it has to do with certain behaviors that we have to deal with, like this one, the kid that provokes other students, provokes us, and then gets picked on. And he may even look like he has a disability, which he really doesn't. He might, but you know what? That's not what's causing him to provoke others. That's not part of the problem. And you're always calling parents, and you really don't know what to say. You know, you call up a parent, hi, Mrs. Jones, I spoke with Johnny again today. He had a problem with another kid, and so on. And the record is just so broken already that we don't want to have to deal with it. But we're spending our time doing it. And that's why our classroom is becoming weaker. Now, so what do? Number one, we got to get some social skills training. Okay? We have to help them develop friendships. We have to help them understand what friendships are. We have to help them understand how to be socially appropriate. We have to make sure that we give them some social skills instruction. This is as important as regular instruction in terms of this child's academics. They've never been taught appropriately how to behave and how to deal with other people, and they've never been taught, hey, you know what, you're getting under somebody's skin. No one's ever told them that. So what's happening? Okay, they think everything's okay. And I'm sure that when they were little, their parents thought they were cute. Oh, he's so cute. He sits at the Thanksgiving table and he controls the whole table by interrupting others. Everyone thinks he's cute at 4 until he turns 10. Then everyone's aggravated by him. We have to identify the skills that are needed, okay, and then we have to work with them little by little. You don't just get out of your seat. You don't just blurt out. You don't just say things that you want to say. Okay, you have to wait your turn. You have to be able to wait your turn to speak. You can't deal with things the way you want to deal with them. It is not about you. It's about what's happening around you. This is important. It's very important. Number 2, you have to model or show the student how to perform the skill. These are the things that we have to do with this child. We have to walk him through it. We have to make sure that he understands that there is a reward for doing things the right way. And number 3, we have to help this child, okay, role play. We have to work with them to role play in different situations. And we have to reinforce acceptable performance by letting this student know how well they are performing. Let me just explain a couple of things to you, because I really do believe that this is worth sharing. Number 1, kids screw up all the time. They make mistakes. And we have to become truthful with them and make them aware that mistakes are okay. They are okay. However, okay, if you continue to do them, I'm not going to be saying to you, it's okay, don't worry. I'm not going to let you know that you did well on a test when you failed. I'm also not going to make you believe that your behavior's okay when you've really been acting up and driving everybody crazy. Kids have to be told the truth. And we have another module in the academy. Can you handle the truth? If you don't tell people the truth, what will happen is they'll discover it on their own, and they're going to wonder why no one told them this when they were younger. Adults don't know the truth. Some adults have poor social skills. Some adults provoke others because they were never told the truth. The key to this whole thing is making sure that people are aware of the truth. They have to be aware of the truth. They have to be aware of what's going on around them. If in fact they're not, what will begin to happen is they'll think they're okay when they are really not okay. I think that what we have to do as we begin to wind down this presentation is we have to begin to understand that we have not been truthful with kids. We have not been truthful with adults. We have to make sure we share in an honest and loving way about somebody's shortcomings. Here you have Classroom Kryptonite here. It's up on the screen. It goes over a host of behaviors. I would encourage you to pick up a copy of this, okay, and read through it so that you can get an idea about some of the behaviors that we're contending with in classrooms that we don't talk about. This one behavior, the provocative victim, you also have the liar, you also have kids who are apathetic. All of these behaviors are things that we need to begin to address, because that in a small way they are becoming like kryptonite and weakening the classroom. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I look forward to being with you again in another one. Okay, everyone, please, okay, do your best to try and take a look at the behavior in your classroom. Make the adjustments. Help kids become better than what they are right now, and help them understand that when we tell them the truth, we're doing it because we love them and we care about them. Have a great day, everybody.